Right, so the first job on the cleaning of the data is just to get rid of any extra spaces. Sometimes you can spot extra spaces, especially if they are at the beginning of something, because you can see it's slightly indented. But you can't see any extra spaces on the end. And they can create problems if you then import that into something like a database. You got all these extra characters that you don't want. If it's a number, quite often it's stored as text because it has an extra space in there. So we don't want that, okay? So we can use an Excel feature, a function called trim. And we literally just do equals trim and then the cell that we want to trim out. So if we go to our spreadsheet, this one's the A&E Visits student version. You can use this one. It's got some errors already in it, so it'll help you to find the errors that I've put in there for you. But if you want to do this on the spreadsheet that you've downloaded, that's more up to date. That's fine as long as you've demonstrated that you've done some cleaning and you've got about 6 different cleaning activities that you've done on your spreadsheet, then that will be fine. Okay, so how do we trim, for example, if we were going to go on this row or this column or on this column, how do we trim any extra weird spaces? Now, these are aligned to the right, so we can see just by looking there's no extra spaces in the majority of these columns because they're all lined up on the right. This is difficult to see. So if there were a few extra spaces here, for example, you wouldn't know they were there. But there's an easy way to get rid of those. And the simplest way to do this is just insert a new column. And then we use this function called trim, which is literally equals trim, open a bracket, select the bit you want to trim, close the bracket, and either press the green tick here or enter on the keyboard. And you can see now when I double click, the extra spaces that I put in there now gone. All right, so they're not there anymore. So now all I've got to do is grab this little X, this down the corner. We don't want the white one, we want the one that goes black. It only appears when you put the mouse over that little tiny box down the bottom right. And when we hold down the mouse and drag, that will automatically fill the rest in. So you can see this is 14, 15, 16, 17. So it's applying this trim to the rest. Okay, now just do a drag all the way down to the bottom, or if you just want to demonstrate that you've done it, just do a few of these and then just print screen the top of it, including this bit here, so we can see you've done a trim. Paste that print screen into another document and write a short paragraph to explain that you've done a trim. Now, what you would normally do at this point, obviously, because now we've got 2 columns, we don't need 2 columns. We can either delete this one or we can just paste these ones. Whoops. Let me go back. We can just paste these ones over the top of the old ones. Oh, it's putting the references in rather than the whole thing. Right, so what I need to do then is a paste special. Will it let me do a paste special? No, it won't. Okay, Control C. And then, all right, it's because I highlighted it first. Right, if you do something called values, it should just paste the value of the actual cell rather than just copying the formula across. Okay, so just highlight all of these, just select the top one, and then right click and do paste special, and just look for the one called values, which is just there. Okay, the thing with spreadsheets is if you highlight all of these and copy and then highlight these and paste, it's got to be exactly the same or it doesn't like it. So it's best just to highlight this top cell and then just paste over the top that way. And then we know that it'll work properly. And if we just paste the values, we get the actual writing and not the formula that we put in here. And if you've done that and you're happy, then obviously we don't need this column anymore. So we can just delete that.